Welcome to the fourth episode of the Ancient Civilizations Fatherhood series. Today, we're going to embark on a journey through time, exploring the complex and fascinating world of ancient Greeks' fatherhood. From the legendary tales of Zeus and his fatherly role, to the beliefs and practices of ancient Greeks' fathers, we'll discover what it truly meant to be a father in one of the most influential civilizations in history. In ancient Greece, fatherhood was seen as a fundamental aspect of a man's identity. It was a symbol of masculinity and an essential part of their social status. Fathers were responsible for providing for their families, but their role went far beyond just financial support. They were expected to instill moral and ethical values in their children, prepare them for adulthood, and pass on their cultural traditions. One of the most intriguing aspects of ancient Greeks' fatherhood was the rituals and traditions that fathers used to bond with their children. These rituals ranged from physical activities like hunting and athletics to intellectual pursuits like philosophy and education. Fathers also used storytelling and music to connect with their children, and these practices have continued to influence modern parenting. While fathers were expected to be strong leaders, they were also expected to be in complete control of their households. This meant that they had absolute power over their wives and children. If a father felt that his wife or children were not behaving in the way he thought was appropriate, he had the power to discipline them in any way he saw fit, including physical punishment. Furthermore, fathers were not necessarily faithful to their wives. In fact, it was common for wealthy men in ancient Greece to have multiple wives and mistresses. This often led to conflict within the household, as wives and children competed for their husband and father's attention and resources. Ancient Greek fathers were known for their strictness, often using physical discipline as a means of control. In fact, it was common for them to even expose unwanted newborns to the elements or abandon them in the wild. On the other hand, in Sparta, fathers were expected to be tough and stoic, often pushing their sons to their physical limits and exposing them to harsh training and military drills from a young age. This was all in the name of creating a strong and capable warrior class. Despite these dark aspects of ancient Greek fatherhood and marriage, there were also bright spots. Many fathers were loving and nurturing towards their families, and there were examples of happy marriages that lasted a lifetime. Ancient Greeks also valued the concept of philia, which means love and friendship, and this extended to their family structures as well. Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers of all time, had much to say on the topic. In his Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle argued that a good father should provide for his children's physical, emotional, and intellectual needs. He believed that fathers should be involved in their children's lives, teaching them practical skills and helping them develop their characters. Aristotle also believed in the importance of setting a good example for one's children. He argued that fathers should cultivate virtues like courage, wisdom, and self-control, and model these traits for their children to emulate. In this way, a father could help his children become virtuous and lead fulfilling lives. Let me tell you a story about one of the most famous ancient Greek fathers, Zeus. You may know him as the king of the gods, but did you know that he had many children? One of his most famous sons was Hercules, a demigod known for his incredible strength and bravery. But did you know that Hercules wasn't actually raised by Zeus? Instead, he was raised by a mortal man named Amphitryon and his wife, Alcmene. Zeus had taken on the guise of Amphitryon to seduce Alcmene, resulting in Hercules' birth. Despite this, Zeus still played an important role in Hercules' life, offering guidance and support when needed. So, what can we learn from these ancient Greek examples of fatherhood? On the one hand, we see the dark side of paternal neglect and infidelity, which can lead to conflict and tragedy. On the other hand, we see the positive impact that involved and virtuous fathers can have on their children's lives. In today's society, we can apply these lessons by prioritizing our children's well-being and being present and involved in their lives. We can also strive to model virtues like courage, wisdom, and self-control, and teach these values to our children. By doing so, we can help create a better world for ourselves and for future generations. Moreover, the concept of fatherhood in ancient Greece highlights the importance of balance. Fathers should be loving and nurturing, but they should also be strong and authoritative. They should lead by example and demonstrate the values they want to instill in their children. Thank you for joining me on this journey through ancient Greeks' fatherhood. As we conclude this episode of Ancient Civilizations Fatherhood, we urge you to watch the previous episodes on Vikings and ancient Romans fatherhood to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the topic. We hope that this series has provided you with a new perspective on fatherhood and how it has evolved over time. So, what are you waiting for? Join us on this journey of discovering the complex and fascinating world of ancient civilizations fatherhood.